So let's go ahead and dive right into what we're going to be doing today. So here are the five categories we're really going to be touching on. We're going to be looking at optimizing your workflow, branding and customization, printing setup, importing rules, and inventory management. So let's go ahead and we're going to talk about optimizing your workflow via our order views. Within ShipStation, which we're going to jump over to now, you don't just have to look at your views exactly how they're set up right now. This row right here is going to be a bunch of quick filters that you can apply very, very easily. So maybe you want to see all the orders that have the tag expedited shipping on it. You can click that. Oh, there you go. We have one order with that. And you can even remove that filter. Maybe you use a view all the time, and you really like, how it's set up. So like you like the expedited tag, and the store is Shopify. Perfect. You can actually go ahead and from there go to your views and save this current view. You can even change how the columns are sorted, and that will apply to that view too. Once you click Save View, you just give it a name, and you're all set. The other way you can change how your orders are being viewed is to actually use our group by. So our group by is in the top right corner. If you click there, you can tell it to group by the store. Cool. So you can see here we have our ShipStation store, and then we have our Shopify store, and it just breaks them up into two different groups. You can even change how they're sorted, ascending or descending. And that's really neat. Or maybe you want to see, all of your different requested services. No requested service, expedited, expedited. So these are going to be your high priority ones. And then down here you have your free shipping, which is not quite as quick as your expedited. So you want to make sure you get to these first, and then you can move on to these. So that's a really nice way of looking at it. We're going to go ahead and remove that. The other neat thing is the columns are completely changeable too. You can customize those however you'd like. So you can either add or remove columns by clicking this columns option in the top right corner, and by checking a box that isn't already checked. You can see we added the age column in. Or if you want, we'll go ahead and we'll look at maybe this item SKU one is not as important to us. So we'll click that. You can see that's now no longer in our columns in our orders grid. The other thing you can do with your columns is they're actually able to be moved around, which is really neat. So you can actually hover your cursor over top of the column header, click, and then drag left or right. Once you do that, all you do is let go, drop, and that's now its new home. And like I said earlier, just to reiterate this, you can also just click on the column header, and it will sort ascending or descending depending on how many times you click. And that is very cool. So what else is a really easy feature to kind of help you get up and running a little quicker is going to be our shipping presets. Presets allow you to do a handful of actions very rapidly. So maybe you don't have a great way of automating, but you use the same package dimensions or something along those lines all the time, or the same weight or the same service. What you do is you would select an order and go to Apply Preset. And what we're going to do is we're going to click Manage Presets, and we'll go ahead and we'll add a new preset. And we're going to name this one Dimensions, because that's what we're going to use it for. We'll click the Dimensions box, and we're going to make this 8 by 8 by 8. Awesome. And then what we're going to do is you have the option to assign a hotkey. Hotkeys are really, really nice because you never actually have to go up into that right corner we were talking about earlier up here and click Apply Preset. You can just hit a quick keyboard command, kind of similar to like a Control-C to copy or Control-V to paste. You can do the same thing to go ahead and apply that on your computer. So we're going to make this one Control-J. And we'll save this. Awesome. Let's go ahead and we'll close that here. And you can see right now we don't have any dimensions added in on this product over here. but when I hit Control J, awesome, I now have my dimensions automatically added in. It's a really easy way of setting up a option used regularly without having a way to automate it. Very cool. We're going to move on to one of my favorite things about ShipStation, which are the batches. So within ShipStation, you can, of course, create a single label at a time. But that's not very efficient, and that's what this whole webinar is about, is making you more efficient. So let's say after you get your we're going to do 3 orders right now. We're going to change the shipping configuration so that way they're ready to go. And we're just going to do priority mail, package, and we'll do no confirmation, and everything weighs 1 pound for this. We're going to update these orders, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start opening up some batches. Batches are neat because they provide a safe workspace, and you can open up 5 of them at a time. So I have these 3 orders now in batch ending in 10 over here. If I were to take 2 of these orders and try to move them into batch ending in 12, you can now see 2 orders are currently in another open batch. Are you sure you want to move them to a different one? So it's aware of where orders are already at in other batches. So if you have a lot of different users working on orders at a time, batches provide a really safe space to work on them, because once you say, yes, move these orders, you can see this now becomes 1, and we have 2 here. Once you click on a batch, you can actually see your orders just that you're working at. So it also allows you a way to break apart a lot of orders, or a handful of orders from a lot of orders. So if you get, flooded with 500, 1,000, 2,000 orders, breaking them into a batch and maybe doing 100 or 250 at a time is a really easy way to condense what you're looking at and give a more manageable workspace. But what we're going to go ahead and do now, right here, is we're going to process a batch. And we'll just click this. There's my progress bar. Everything looks good. Some have already been shipped, and you can see if it has been, it'll give us this message, which is totally fine. We'll click continue. Awesome. It's going to say this is going to cost us $11.20. I have enough in my balance. If not, you can go ahead and add additional funds right then and there. You can change your ship date. Let's create these labels. Fantastic. We had 1 succeed, 2 succeed. So we did a fantastic job here. And if we click this, we can see the 2 orders that were successful. And also from this label batch status screen, we can print our labels, packing slips, other documents. We can even add notes in case you want to say, cubby completed. Awesome. Then we can click labels, and then we can choose to preview in browser, print connect, and we'll get to those options here in a little bit, so don't worry about that. Batches are very, very handy for that. Users who are going to really benefit most from batches are going to be our Amazon sellers. So if you sell on Amazon and you do a solid amount of volume, it's very important to use our batches because it reduces the amount of times we have to contact Amazon. If we contact Amazon too many times, like if you ship an order and create a label just for 1 order, that's us contacting them 1 time. You get up to 30 of those in an hour. But if you were to put 30 orders in a batch and process it, we'll actually alert Amazon of all 30 of those orders at 1 time, and they only count it as 1. So that's really important to protect like your seller rating on there, just because then you don't have any shipments that go without being notified right away. So very, very important for Amazon sellers. If you have any more questions about this, feel free to reach out to our support team or your account manager, and they can tell you more about throttling. We also have some knowledge base articles on it too that are very, very good. And we'll get you that link to our knowledge base center after this. Awesome. The other thing we offer is Quick Ship. Quick Ship basically says if you're such a advanced user, you're ready to go, every order that imports into ShipStation is immediately ready to ship. Quick Ship does away with the need to look at that cost summary screen and just immediately sends it to a print queue for you to print out. There are a few little things to know about this, but if you're interested in it, since it is a power user feature, we suggest talking to our support team or account managers about that too, so that way they can make sure it's really the best feature for you to be using. and to get the most out of it without any errors popping up. So that way, there's no hiccups throughout your day. We want to make sure with these features that are pushed out that they are the right ones for you, and that you're also not slowing down your workflow at all. The other thing are keyboard commands. So ShipStation has some really basic keyboard commands, which we're going to go over to ShipStation, and we'll check out. So you can actually just take your arrow keys on your keyboard, and you can go up or down. You can go left and right, and then from there, we even have more advanced ones, like you can choose to print, you can choose to bring up a scan menu, things like that. And we have a whole knowledge base article on all these different keyboard commands we have. So if you're one of those users that doesn't really like to click and you're much more comfortable just using a shortcut key, these could be really helpful for you. So definitely let us know if you're interested in that, and we can get you that knowledge base article too, so that way you can see every single one we have and that we're offering right now. Awesome. So let's go ahead and talk about your brand. As e-commerce sellers, branding is one of the most important things out there, without a doubt. I know that's one of my favorite things, is when I get something delivered to me from some of the companies I really like. Their branding is amazing, from the actual package it arrives in or what it's wrapped in, to the moment like I get the actual product in the box it's in and unpack that. It's all very nicely done. So we're really looking to help you guys with branding on our end, and that's through our ability to upload logos and use our tracking page and email notifications, all with your information on them. So that way you can create a very fluid branding experience across all of ShipStation for more of the digital end of it. So let's go ahead and hop over to ShipStation. What we're going to do is, the first thing we want to do is go up to the top right corner to the gear, and we're going to click there, and we are going to go to our selling channels. From there, I'm going to go ahead and edit my Shopify store. And you can see here we have a branding tab. Awesome. So that's not my company name. My name is Nori's Dog Treats. Awesome. And that phone number looks good. Emails looks awesome. And let's go ahead and remove this. And what you can do now to upload your logo is you just click right here, and there it is, your logo. We'll open that up, and once you upload your logo here, this is going to be automatically pulled onto your packing slips, your email, your company name is going to do the same thing. So this is the information for your packing slips and all that, where that information gets pulled from. So having this filled out can really boost your branding within ShipStation when you're communicating with your customers and things like that. We're going to go ahead and save those changes now, and we should be all set. Fantastic. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hop over to our tracking page. So what's very cool about our branded tracking page is it shows a map with the package progress along the way. It shows the items that were shipped. It shows your logo. But it gives you even more options besides that. It allows you to select your colors for your custom email template for your branded tracking page. If you don't want to do that, we actually have a color sniffer, meaning we'll look at your logo you've uploaded, like what it did for me here, and it found that green, it found the blue, and it found that even darker blue. You can choose to show your social media links, so you can actually show your Instagram or Facebook now. You can show a service menu where it takes you to your website, or if you need additional links, or you have a return policy set up. This is all set up now through here, and it looks incredible. I can't speak highly enough of how great this new feature is, especially for a new e-commerce. All right, we're going to go ahead and preview these changes now. See how it looks. Fantastic. So you can see here we got Nori's Dog Treats. We can see the package was ordered, expected to ship this day. We can see my tracking number. If you want to click on that, it'll take you straight to the USPS. You can see all the actual information here, and it moves on the map as you scroll over it. And you can see the items that that was ordered from Nori's Dog Treats. It's very cool. So yeah, those are just some of the new things about the branded tracking page. I highly recommend using that, just because of the simplicity of it and how beautiful it is. It's definitely an awesome feature to take advantage of. If you aren't going to use that, or you need to customize your packing slip, let's go ahead and check out the templates. So if you click templates over here on the left-hand side, it's about 6 down. You have the option to create your own email templates right here, and you can, create a new one, or you can copy an existing to make minor tweaks. If you like the existing default, but you want to change just an option or two, you can click copy, and you can either use our WYSIWYG, meaning what you see is what you get editor, and make minor changes, or you can even get super advanced with it if you're comfortable, and click this button right here, and that'll allow you to edit the HTML and CSS. I'm going to go ahead and close this. We'll cancel it out. Same thing with our packing slips. You can come over here and create a whole new template, which would just be a blank packing slip that you could fill in with all of your own custom HTML and CSS, or you could even copy the existing one. We'll go ahead and we'll copy it, confirm, and you can see it's very similar. It doesn't have the what you see is what you get editor, just due to the nature of packing slips being a little more complex. But you can fully customize these from here too, or just make minor tweaks. All right. So the last thing we're going to go over is branded labels, and we're going to roll that right into our next section too, because we're moving into printing setup. So what I want to do is I want to show you where you can add on your labels to your, or add on your logos to your labels, excuse me, and make some changes to how you print. So if you go over to this far left again, just above templates, we'll click printing. Once we're in printing, we're going to go ahead and click printing setup. So once we're in printing setup, we have this grid here, and you can see we have labels, return labels, everything that you can print in ShipStation lives here. And then we have this column right here that says print to. This allows you to select where you print it to. If you want to print it to ShipStation Connect, which is our in-house app that removes the need to preview a PDF and just sends it directly to your printer. It also memorizes multiple defaults. So maybe your labels need to go to a 4x6 printer, and your return labels need to go to a different 4x6 printer, and your packing slips need to go to this laser printer. But your end-of-day forms, they get printed up front at this other one. You can go ahead and set that all up, no problem, and tell it to remember each one of these. Just to give you a heads up about this, this is saved to your cookies and cache on your browser. So if you do end up clearing your cache one day, you'll just need to let ShipStation know which default printers to use again for ShipStation Connect. Of course, you can always preview a PDF in the browser. You can download a PDF, or by default, we always prompt you if you want to use that, and you can just select from this list. All right, so once we go over to this column, the options column, this allows you to check out all our different shipping label formats, DPI. You can learn more about DPI by clicking to the right of that. But what's important to us is this label branding about 2/3 of the way down. Label branding, once you check this box, your logo will automatically print onto the label. One thing to know about this is because of the carrier returning labels back to us, we actually have to fall within their guidelines. So if you feel like your label logo is a little small or isn't coming out so great, that's just due to a limitation on how big we can print that on that particular carrier. So that's one thing that we can adjust, unfortunately, just so that way we're still within their guidelines. You can also add label messages, so maybe you want your SKU for the first 3 items to print, or maybe you want the order number, so you can match up an order number with a packing slip. That's one thing I really like to suggest to users a lot, especially if the person with the packing slip is not the same person that's going to end up with the label. Just a way to make sure there's a solid quality assurance there. You can even add your store or your store company name, the ship date, things like that. And then we have the shipping cutoff time. This is what's really interesting to me. So let's say you have your carrier and they show up at around 2:45 every day. You can say anything printed after 3 p.m. is going to show a ship date of the next day. And we do that for things like end of day forms. So that way you don't have to create an end of day form twice in a single day. So with today being the 11th, if it were after 3 p.m., any shipment after 3 p.m. would move on to the 12th, and it would show on my end of day form for the 12th. So it makes it way easier. Instead of having to create multiple forms each day, you can just do a single one every day. Just be aware of that, though. Some users get caught a little off guard because they forget that set and they're wondering why their shipments have been moved ahead a day. And that's all it is. It's just this shipping cutoff time right here. Very cool. And let's see what we're going on to next. We'll save these changes. Let's talk about ShipStation Connect a little more. ShipStation Connect, if you click the ShipStation Connect tab underneath Printing Setup, allows you can install it from here. It's just a quick download. It's a desktop app that just is a bridge between your computer and ShipStation. So it's a way of us having multiple defaults and being able to bridge that gap for you. Once you set up ShipStation Connect, it'll just ask you for your ShipStation username and password. You can go ahead and you'll see all of your printers connected to that computer. If you're not sure what your username is, you can always just go up here and highlight, and you can see I'm signed in as presenter. Presenter is my username. If you're not signed in under the same username to connect in ShipStation, you won't see your printer. So you just want to make sure those always match up. One really neat thing with ShipStation Connect is it also allows you to use our companion app, our ShipStation companion app, and print to it, and print from it. So if you have an iPhone or an Android, you can actually download the ShipStation app. You can share maybe this Zebra printer, and once you do that, it'll then be able to be viewable on your mobile device, and you can print to it from there. This also means anyone who has a ShipStation account under your or a ShipStation user under your account can print to this printer. So if you have someone, maybe on the top floor that has to print some labels down to you, you can just share this printer. They'll be able to see it, and then they can print directly to it. You can even change what the printers are named directly in ShipStation Connect. So maybe you don't like seeing this big long name for it, and you want to call it Main Warehouse Thermal. A little typo. Awesome, you can do that. Save, and that's what everyone would then see is Main Warehouse Thermal. And you're all set. All right. So we're going to talk about some importing rules. One way ShipStation helps you save a lot of time, besides printing in batches, is going to be all the different ways you can automate things. We have automations on 4 different levels. So we're going to start off with our product preset group, which is the most basic automation. So product preset groups, we're going to go back to ShipStation. We're going to click products in the top of ShipStation, and once my page finishes refreshing, we'll hop right into that. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to products, and we're going to go to preset groups over here on the left. And what we're going to do is we're going to click add a preset group. And what we're going to use a preset group for is maybe you're someone who sells, let's say apparel, and you sell the same sweater, but you sell, one with a cheetah printed on the front, one with a wolf, and one with a corgi. But they're all the exact same sweater, just with different things printed on the front of it. What you can do is you can say, okay, I'm going to create this preset group because the sweaters all weigh the same, they're all going to be shipped the same. We're going to say anything that comes in for this preset group, domestic, is going to be shipped priority package with no confirmation. And it's going to weigh 1 pound, and it's going to have a dimension of 4 by 6 by 8. We're going to call this a sweater for our customs. The declared value would be $25, and United States is the country of origin. And we'll call it, the add a preset group, we'll call it sweater group. Awesome. Once we do that, we'll save the changes, and then you can go back to your products over here on the left, And let's say these 4 items are your sweater. You can just say apply preset group, sweater. And now whenever an order imports with a single item on it, it'll go ahead and apply that. So that's the most basic automation. Let's go ahead and deselect these. And we're going to talk about our second automation, which is going to be a product detail. Product details vary from product preset groups because it applies to a single product only. So versus applying it to, maybe 5, 10, 30 products at a time, this is only going to apply to one product. So let's go ahead and we're going to click on this one, the Bubble Popper 4XL. And to bring up your product default screen, you just click on the SKU, and you're going to get this standalone product detail. From there, you can override the name that's imported. You can change the image URL, the reporting category. You can add a tag, so anytime an order imports with a certain item, it automatically gets tagged. You can set up your shipping options, your weight, customs, everything very similar to the preset groups, but it's on a single item level. All right. Just to let you know, product defaults will trump a preset group. And this is going to be a continuing theme, so we're going to move on to our service mappings. And to do that, we're going to have to go over to the orders, and we'll check some of those out. So with service mapping, everyone has dealt with a service mapping, whether you've realized it or not. And that's like when you're online, you go to checkout, and they give you the option for free shipping or maybe expedited or 2-day and overnight, and they give you those 4 different options. That will actually import into ShipStation as a requested service, and it'll have a name. So this is the requested service marketplace value, but it's unmapped, meaning it doesn't have a carrier and carrier and package type assigned to it. So what you can actually do is click this unmapped, and you can say anytime an order imports from, this is my Shopify store that has the expedited, we're going to go ahead and ship this Priority Mail Express package, and we'll save those changes. And you can see now it went from being like a brownish color to green, and it's saying we're all good. These requested services will also trump product defaults and preset groups. So this will trump those too. And the last thing that you can do is you can actually create an automation rule, which is very cool. Automation rules are my favorite thing because of how complex you can make them. You can do anything from apply to all orders to make it apply to a very, very, very specific set of orders. So to check out automation rules, what we're going to do is we're going to click this gear in the top right-hand corner for our settings. And then from there, we're going to move over to the third tab on the far left, and we'll click Automation, and then we'll do Automation Rules. And we're going to create 3 rules today. And the 3 rules we're going to create are we're going to base 1 off quantity, we're going to base 1 off the weight, and we're going to base 1 off the requested service. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Let's create this first rule. And this first rule we're creating, we're just going to call QTY. And once we do that, we have the option to apply it to every order that's imported, which I don't want to do. I want to apply this to a specific set of orders. All right, so we're going to say only apply these actions to orders that match a specific criteria. And that's perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Add Criteria, and it always defaults to total quantity, but you can see we have all these different options. And we're going to say total quantity, and you can do equal. For us, we're going to do greater than or equal to 2. And then we're going to say add an action. So this is your criteria, and then this is your action statement down here. And what we're going to do for this one is we're going to set package dimensions, and we're going to set those to 20 by 14 by 10. Awesome. We're going to save this rule. Looks beautiful. We're going to go ahead and we're going to create one based off weight. So let's go ahead and we'll do that, and we'll call this the weight rule. All right. And once again, this isn't going to apply to just every single order. So we're going to click this, and we're going to do add criteria. And the criteria for this one's going to be a little more. So we're going to say country equals United States, because this is going to be for domestic shipments only. So that's why we're saying ahead of time this is only going to apply to orders that are from the US. And then we're going to say the weight is less than 16 ounces. And the reason we're doing this is essentially we're setting it up for any order that is from the US that is 16 ounces. We're going to ship it via USPS. So we're going to click that Add an Action, and then we're going to choose Set Carrier Service Package Type. And from here I can say first class mail package. And the reason we're doing that is it's one of the most cost-efficient ways to ship, and you still get a tracking number with first class mail. The package type is either package or thick envelope. So you can select this last option. Both of these will automatically get tracking no matter what. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that, and we'll save this rule. And our last rule we're going to create is very interesting to me. I like creating automation rules based off the requested service that has come over from the marketplace. I find that to be one of the easiest ways to create automation rules is to use the product defaults and just to handle some single item and basic functions, and then to skip over this requested service and create automation rules based off the requested service. I really like that workflow. So let's go ahead and we'll hop right into that. So we're just going to call this one tag. And we're going to say only apply these actions, because once again it's to a specific set of criteria. And we're going to say add criteria. And we have requested service. So we have marketplace value and mapped. Mapped would be the service that's actually the requested service is set up to correlate to. So if you have a shipping service that correlates to priority mail, and you selected this option, you would then go ahead and select USPS priority mail. The marketplace value is the name of that actual service. So if you have an expedited service, that's what you put in here. I like using contains or equals for this if you're wanting to apply it to only these orders. So maybe we'll just do contains, and we'll do expedited. So we're looking for any order that has a requested service that contains the word expedited. We're going to add an action then, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add a tag, and we're going to add this expedited shipping tag to it. We'll save this rule. All right, and we should be all set now to go ahead and import some orders. We're going to go ahead and go to our circular arrows in the top right-hand corner. We'll hover over those, and then we're going to click Update All Stores. We should have some orders here momentarily. Awesome. Click here to view your new orders. So I'm going to go ahead and sort these real quick by age, just so I can see the newest one. So let's see, columns, age. Awesome, now I have my 3 new orders. I'm going to open up the order details so you can see a little more information about this. So let's go to the order activity. Awesome, so the first thing we're going to look at is our weight rule matched. So our weight rule was country equals US, which it did right here, and it was less than a pound. That it's going to be first class mail. The second thing that it matched and applied is the rule tag. So you can see, because we had the word expedited in our requested service, that our expedited shipping tag applied exactly how we wanted to, which is very cool. We're going to hop over to our next order. And this is our quantity rule that said if the quantity was greater than or equal to 2, to go ahead and set the dimensions of the package to 20 by 14 by 10, which worked beautifully once again. We'll check out our last order. And this one was just our weight rule. You can see that it was a US, less than a pound. Once again, first class mail package, and it's ready to go. You can see the rate's already there. So we didn't even have to do anything to get that rate. We're ready to ship this order out immediately, which is the big time-saving aspect that I was talking about. Very cool. So that is automation rules. Now that we're through that, we're going to talk about our inventory solution a little bit. ShipStation rolled out an inventory solution, a native one that we've built in-house for you guys. And it's going to allow you to track and manage stock levels very nicely in ShipStation, so you can actually see the amount of inventory you have per product. It'll give you threshold alerts, meaning you can set it up to where if you hit a quantity of 50, to throw an alert and let you know what's going on. Let's say like, hey, we're getting a little low on this. You can even do allocation strategies, so you can prioritize certain marketplaces or orders over others. With a lot of like Amazon sellers, they really like to do this, or eBay, or anything that where time is super important, because that's how you get essentially graded and judged on by that marketplace. They like to give those marketplaces higher priority, so that way they maintain their rating first. And it also just helps you prevent shipping out of stock items. It won't let you ship that order if your orders are out or if your items are out of stock, because there's nothing there to ship, which is really, really nice. Instead of having to worry about that all the time. There are a few things that it doesn't do though, which I always like to let users know about, which is the key things that it doesn't do, our native solution doesn't help you with, is it doesn't send stock counts back to your selling channel. So it's not going to communicate with your Squarespace or Magento or anything for you. It doesn't send purchase orders to vendors. So once you hit that threshold alert, we're not going to send a request to your vendor to go ahead and order more for you. And it also doesn't split apart or handle kits and bundles very well. So you could have SKU 1, 2, 3 and SKU ABC, and they're two separate items. But when SKU ABC 1, 2, 3 comes in, it doesn't know to automatically subtract from those two items separately. It just sees that as a whole brand new item with its own individual need for a count. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We have some really awesome partners though that can do this. There are ones like Stitch Labs, Channel Advisor, SKU Vault, Bright Pearl, and a handful of other ones that are really, really awesome. And we can even display those inventory counts for things like Amazon FBA. If you have your products with Amazon's fulfillment service, we can show you your inventory levels with them. With Stitch Labs, Channel Advisor, which is really nice. So you can actually see your inventory from those channels in real time in ShipStation. All right. So let's talk about getting help. Getting help is very, very, very important, and we all need it from time to time. So to get a hold of ShipStation support, the easiest way to do it is to go ahead and click the question mark in the top right-hand corner. Once you do that, you can choose to chat with support if you're on our silver plan or higher. You can go ahead and go to your support cases or support center and submit a ticket through there. If you're in your trial, you have a dedicated account manager who would love to talk to you and help you out. You can get in touch with them by calling them. You can schedule a call, or you can even email them, and it'll give you all their info. So you have multiple options to get help directly within ShipStation. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you and get you a helping hand. We also have our KB articles, videos, webinars, our community forum, and our product feedback page. And if you want any of that information, we'd be happy to get it to you. Most of it can be found at help.shipstation.com. But if you want the exact link for maybe our webinars or anything like that, just let us know. We'd love to get that for you. All right, that pretty much wraps up for today the webinar. I'm going to go ahead and open it up though and let you guys ask some questions. We'll take a few minutes to answer any questions you may have, and we can go from there. So if you do have any, feel free to type those in. Austin's going to relay those over, and we'll get that all taken care of with you guys. I love doing these. I love teaching about ShipStation and letting users know how to get the most out of it. So it means a lot that you guys took some time out of your day to spend it with me and go over ShipStation more in depth. Definitely sign back up for more webinars. Different people teach them. They go over different things. So yeah, don't be shy and sign up for some more. We go over printing more in depth in some. We have our mobile app. We have a getting started if this was a little much. And don't be afraid to take advantage of those. Everyone's a little different, and everyone will show you something new each time. So, all right, everyone. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.